Imagine a place where breathtaking mountains, century-old traditions, and thriving communities come together in harmony. That place is Cordillera Administrative Region. And today we invite you to join us as we explore how tourism can become a force for both enjoyment and sustainability through our presentation. The top 10 sustainable tourism practices in Cordillera. But before we begin our journey, let us first introduce the individuals behind this presentation, the members of our group who work together to make this report possible. Mr. Edsel Galupad, Mr. Franel Guevara, Mr. Francis Padernal, and yours truly, Paulo Villanueva. Now that you have met our team, let us start with a question. How can we enjoy the beauty of a destination without compromising its future? This brings us to the guiding principle of responsible travel. Take only memories, leave only footprints. This quote reminds us that tourism should benefit not only travelers today, but also future generations. Because tourism contributes to economic growth, job, and of course, cultural exchange. However, increasing tourism can also lead to environmental damage and cultural impacts. This is why sustainable tourism is important as it promotes responsible travel by balancing economic, social, and environmental needs while protecting resources for the future. In the Philippines, the Cordillera Administrative Region, or CAR, is one of the country's most significant tourism destinations, composed of Agra, Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga, Mountain Province, and Baguio City. The region is known for its rich cultural heritage, indigenous traditions, and stunning natural landscapes. These unique features make sustainable travel tourism crucial in protecting the environmental, preserving cultural identity, and supporting local livelihoods. With this in mind, our report aims to identify the top 10 sustainable tourism practices in Cordillera to examine their contributions to environmental sustainability, cultural preservation, and socio-economic development, and highlight the important role of local governments, communities, and tourism stakeholders in promoting responsible tourism across the region. Now to proceed to the report, may I call Mr. Francis to formally start the presentation?
Starting from economic sustainability, this refers to Cordillera ability to generate long-term income and employment while ensuring that future generations can continue to benefit from its resources. The Bagumbayan Coffee Village Agri-Tourism in Tabo, Kalinga transformed a farming community into a thriving coffee tourism destination. Instead of selling raw coffee beans, farmers now process, package, and market their own products. This increases profits, creates jobs, and attracts visitors interested in coffee production. This supports SDGs number 8 for generating sustainable local employment and entrepreneurship. Number 2 for strengthening smallholder agriculture with better value and income. And number 12 for encouraging organic fair trade coffee production for conscientious tourists. Next is the Cordillera Eco-Cultural Trail Project, which connects mountain trails and indigenous communities across the Cordillera. Through the guided treks, homestays, and cultural immersion activities, local residents directly earn from tourism. At the same time, it supports SDGs number 8 as it creates jobs and income in rural areas by fostering sustainable local enterprises. And number 15, as it creates the highland ecosystems that underlie the experience. Lastly is the Itogon Arabica Coffee Cooperative or SHALCOGA Initiative in Benguet provides an alternative livelihood through sustainable Arabica coffee production. Through certifications and value-added processing, farmers can sell their coffee at higher prices, increasing their income while creating employment opportunities. This contributes to SDGs number 8 for promoting inclusive economic growth through local enterprises. Number 2 for empowering small farmers, and number 15 for maintaining coffee agroforestry that protects slope soils and forests around Itogon. These three initiatives show that economic sustainability is not just about earning profits, but about creating long-term opportunities that strengthen communities and ensure that tourism benefits both present, and future generations. Now may I call on Mr. Guevara to further explain how the Cordillera Administrative Region promotes sustainable tourism for their environmental sustainability.
Now, let me discuss the Ifugao Rice Terraces and the Muyong system, a remarkable example of indigenous environmental management. A Muyong is a family or clan-managed forest located above the rice terraces. It stores and gradually releases water for irrigation while preventing soil erosion, maintaining soil fertility, and providing timber, fuel, food, and food. What makes the system sustainable is the integration of forests and terraces. Communities protect the forest while farming the terraces, following traditional practices that preserve resources for future generations. Because of its ecological, agricultural, and cultural value, this landscape is recognized by UNESCO. Related SDGs, we have zero hunger, clean water and sanitation, sustainable cities and communities, climate action, and life on land. Next on the list, we have the organic and diversified Highland Farming, commonly practiced in Benguet and other CAR provinces. Farmers use composting, crop rotation, intercropping, crop diversification, integrated livestock, and natural pest management. These practices improve soil fertility, reduce dependence on chemical inputs, and prevent water and soil contamination. By diversifying crops, farms become more resilient to pests, extreme weather, and market fluctuations, creating a productive and sustainable farming system. Related SDGs, we have zero hunger, good health and well-being, responsible consumption and production, climate action, and life on land. Third, we have the Lapat system. It is an indigenous conservation practice used by the Isnag communities in Napayal. Under the system, access to certain forests, rivers, hunting grounds, and fishing areas is regulated or temporarily restricted, allowing natural resources to recover and regenerate. Through community monitoring and enforcement, Lapat helps protect forests, wildlife habitats, and endangered species while preserving indigenous knowledge and governance. Related SDGs, we have clean water and sanitation, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life on land, and peace, justice, and strong institution. Lastly, we have the community-based reforestation, bamboo planting, and watershed rehabilitation involve partnerships among communities, local governments, and DENR to restore degraded areas. Trees and bamboo help prevent erosion, improve water retention, restore habitats, and protect watersheds. Bamboo also supports livelihoods by providing sustainable materials for furniture, handicrafts, and construction. These initiatives deliver both environmental and economic benefits while strengthening ecosystem resilience. SDG related, we have clean water and sanitation, decent work and economic growth, climate action, and life on land. That concludes the environmental sustainability practices in the Cordillera Administrative Region. Now, may I call on Mr. Kalumpa to discuss social-cultural responsibility. Sustainability.
Thank you, Mr. Pranyal. Social-cultural sustainability means preserving a community's culture, traditions, values, and way of life so that they can continue to benefit both present and future generations. In the Cordillera Administrative Region, or CAR, indigenous communities have protected their heritage for centuries. Today, I will discuss three major social-cultural sustainability practices in CAR. First is the Bodong Peace Pact System. The Bodong is a traditional agreement of the Kalinga people that promotes peace and cooperation between tribes. Instead of using formal courts, conflicts are resolved through dialogue and the guidance of tribal leaders. It also helps preserve indigenous customs and values. As shown in the video, tribal leaders gather to renew their peace pact through traditional ceremonies, showing unity and respect among communities. This practice supports SDG 16, 10, 11, and 17 by promoting peace, inclusion, sustainable communities, and partnerships. Next is the community-based cultural tourism in the Ifugao Rice Terraces. The Ifugao Rice Terraces are more than beautiful landscapes. They represent the culture and tradition of the Ifugao people. Local residents work as guides, handicraft makers, and cultural custodians, allowing tourism to benefit the community while preserving their heritage. In the video, we see the stunning terraces and the daily lives of the local people, showing that tourism also helps protect their culture. This practice contributes to SDGs 8, 11, 1, 4, and 17 by creating jobs, reducing poverty, preserving heritage, and promoting educations and strengthening partnerships. Lastly is the preservation of traditional agriculture and heirloom rice culture. The heirloom rice farming combines indigenous knowledge, cultural identity, and environmental care. Community members help one another through traditional labor system, while the value of Inayan teaches respect for people and nature. The video shows farmers continuing traditional farming methods passed down through generations, highlighting teamwork and environmental stewardship. This practice supports SDGs 2, 11, 12, 13, 15, and 18 by promoting food security, protecting culture and the environment, and providing sustainable livelihoods. Overall, these three practices shows that preserving indigenous traditions also supports sustainable development by strengthening culture, protecting nature, and improving community well-being. And to conclude the entire report, may I now call Mr. Paulo Villanueva.
As we conclude our presentation, the sustainable tourism practices in Cordillera Administrative Region demonstrate that tourism can be a powerful tool for environmental conservation, cultural preservation, and economic development when managed responsibly. Environmental sustainability is reflected in initiatives such as Ifugao Terraces Muyong management system, organic Highland Farming, the Lapat Conservation System, and the community-led reforestation efforts. And at the same time, socio-cultural sustainability is strengthened through the Bodong Peace Pact, community-based cultural tourism, and the preservation of traditional agricultural practices and heirloom rice farming. Economic sustainability is supported by projects such as Bagumbayan Coffee Village, the Cordillera Eco-Cultural Trail, and the SHALCOGA Arabica Coffee Initiative, which create livelihood opportunities while promoting responsible tourism. These practices shows that tourism can successfully balance environmental protection, cultural integrity, and economic prosperity. However, the question now is, how can we ensure that these sustainable tourism practices continue to benefit future generations? The answer lies in collective action. Sustainable tourism is a shared responsibility. Governments, local communities, businesses, tourists must work together to support conservation efforts, preserve cultural heritage, and strengthen community-based initiatives. Through our shared commitment, we can ensure that Cordillera's natural and cultural treasures remain protected while continuing to provide lasting benefits for generations to come.